Hey everyone, welcome to Reverse Homesteading. Today we're going to do a summer tour. The nets are on because it's going to be really hot today, but I'll whip them off just for a little bit and we can have a look at some plants together. Going to be 36 today, which is quite toasty, and it seems to be a little windy as well, which is also not good for plants. So let's have a look at these little babies. Wow! We just had a massive wind gust and I nearly lost my entire net. All these, however many metres, 15 metres or so of net into our neighbour's garden next door. I just grabbed it in time. I was pulling the net up so that I could show you all, but I'll just have to hang on to it and do some pegging for now. Before we get there, this is my Lapins cherry. It was just a stick when I got it. It was $10 Australian this season. So no fruit this season, but I will espalier it. I have tip pruned it because sweet cherries often do better if you tip prune them as the only pruning, because they fruit on old wood and they don't get as many diseases apparently compared to pruning them back in late winter. So we shall see how that goes. And my Stella cherry over here next to my leaf pile, which only gets not so fruity or vegetable-y matter, it's just leaves, so we don't get problems with rats. This is my main composting system at varying levels, so I just add sugarcane mulch and any weeds that don't have seeds in them. Oh, you can see a little black soldier fly there. It wants to lay its little eggs in there. I did have a soldier fly larvae farm up north, but I haven't done that this year. It's a little bit of work to keep that going. This is a cocktail red cherry tomato. That's a tigerella that got chopped off by a little animal. That one also got damaged by an animal. They seem to be coming back with some manure. This is a tigerella as well. This is a broad ripple yellow currant tomato. This is our one and only pineapple. I've forgotten what kind. I think I wrote it down inside, but it is growing roots because it's growing a new little shoot. When I lived in the Yarra Valley, I grew a pineapple, but it didn't grow any fruit. But this is pretty sheltered here and it's quite sunny, and I have lived in the tropics since and looked after pineapples that I grew from the tops of a pineapple. So hopefully we can get it going. Who knows? Maybe. 3 green zebra tomatoes here, recently chopped back, so they will have more leaves soon. We have 2 black currants, 1, 2. I'll just jump under the net here. Alright, another green zebra tomato. This is my mango tree that I grew from a seed. I'll show you how to do that in a video soon. It's a Kensington Pride or Bowen mango. They're the only ones that will get you a good tree out of seed. All the rest are crosses that don't grow true to type, so you might get excited if you can get it up and growing, but you may not get good mangoes from it unless it's a Kensington Pride or a Bowen mango. They're the same thing. Here's our other little blackcurrant. There's an unknown stump of a tree that we're going to take out. I think it's a dewdrop. I don't like it. Big thorns. Here's a green zebra tomato. You can see the stripes a little bit. The stripes get more and more obvious as they get older. This is the back of my pink lady apple. I put this little thing on here because the net was rubbing on the top of the tree. It's still not very sturdy. I'll have to do a better job, splint it a bit more, but for now it's working. Here's my huge amount of violets. They were here already. Once I started to disturb the soil and make a garden and take out the big trees, we realised there are a whole lot of violet seeds in the soil, so they all sprung up. Here's a Thai pink egg tomato. Here's our banana. It's a cool climate banana, so it should fruit for us. It is a red Dhaka dwarf, so they have beautiful burgundy coloured bananas which go to orange when they're ripe. This is my best producing blueberry of the year. It's a blue rose blueberry. It's a northern high bush variety and its leaves got really burnt, so I took the burnt ones off because often, this would happen. The cover would flip up and if I didn't see it, the leaves would get burnt anyway on really hot days. That's the best I can do for now. Another Thai pink egg tomato, San Marzano tomato. That's a passata tomato. This is a Granny Smith apple. Has 2 apples on it currently. Another San Marzano. Oh, forgot this. This is a little blueberry. It's a southern highbush sunshine blue again. Here's the front of my apple. There's a better shot of the San Marzano tomatoes getting going. Here's our poor little hollyhock just finishing off its season. Another Thai pink egg tomato. We have had so many tomatoes. Here's our Denise blueberry, has beautiful autumn leaves. Bulbs for spring are in here, mostly hyacinths. Some of them I actually found in the ground and transplanted to this row here. Another Thai pink egg tomato. This is our Sweet Sensations nectarine, which gave us 9 beautiful, huge fruit that tasted amazing. So I'm pretty happy with that for the first year. Another Thai pink egg tomato. Another little blueberry. That's another sunshine blue. And more of the same tomato. This one is a pineapple heritage tomato. This is a Moore Park apricot. Gave us 3 beautiful, amazingly sweet and juicy apricots. There's nothing like a homegrown apricot, as someone said in the comments. Here, protected from the possums because they're quite low down, is our pineapple heritage tomato that's the most far along. Here is my cute stuffing pepper, little mini capsicum variety. I might actually pick that. Protected also from possums. That's quite small. We did have some really dry weather that I may not have kept up with the watering on that one. It was kind of covered by this one that was rambling on the ground, so waiting for some inspiration, but this one's quite big. So that's more of the size that we want. And 2 more pineapple heritage tomatoes here. Because you usually don't see this hanging plant, it is the Kalanko and also a Kalanko. It's a silver dust plant, has beautiful little pink flowers. Both of those I got from a relative in the country, so they were just tiny little cuttings and they're doing really well. I did wonder if it would do okay here because it faces south, sort of overlooks the garden a little on the side, but yeah, seems to be happy here. My other hanging basket is a dwarf nasturtium. It has beautiful sort of silky brown, russety coloured flowers, but yeah, I've taken it down for hot days and something's been eating the leaves off. I think I've mentioned that before. So rude. So I might cut it back a little bit to get these little funny bits off the stem. And yeah, I'll take that down because it's going to be hot today. Put it in the shade. Good way of looking after all of your pot plants, and especially hanging ones because they dry out quickly in the wind and the hot weather. My potting bench, currently covered in plants that are hardening off, getting ready to go out in the garden. This is a galangal that I'm growing from a root I got in the supermarket. It took ages, but it's growing now. In here, getting a little bit protected, are my Stella cherry pits. In Germany, they actually grow them by the side of the road, and they grow those by pits. So I figure, well, if they can do it, I can do it. Here is an assortment of beans. Black-eyed beans, these baby boo pumpkins, the little white ones. Madagascar beans have gone crazy, should have been planted long ago, but they last for about 7 years, and I've been trying to find a really good place to put them because they do overwinter as well, even around here. These are tender green beans, and yeah, these are tiger melons, so they're like Kajari melons, I believe. They look the same, and just some butter beans and lettuce and things. Here we have much the same, not crazy interesting. What have we got here? Oh, stevia is coming up, these little ones, and These are some more Tigger melons because I had trouble getting them up. That's just some dill. This is my pot plant that I showed you before. This is my pepino. It's a rock melon kind of flavoured fruit. I used to have one in the tropics. These are red dragon fruit from cuttings. Native frangipani like we have in our garden. There's a huge tree, but I grew those from seed, so we didn't have a massive tree back then. These are my newest little food plants, capsicum. So little baby capsicums or sweet peppers coming on there. I've got to plant that thing. This is a bit of a hospital for sad little plants. Not sure if this strawberry will come back. It was only 50 cents, but hopefully we're alright. Some more assorted cheaper ones. My baby mandarins that are overplanted that I have to separate. Imperial mandarins grow true to type, so that's why they're there. These are vegetable dates that I grew from date pits in the supermarket. I did that in Queensland as well. This is my turmeric plant. I've grown that from a rhizome that I got in the supermarket. It does grow quite well here in Victoria if you look after it and don't let frost get it. This is an autumn royal grapevine. We're speaking, oh my goodness. Oh. That guy has got to go. So it should not be too munched, hopefully. It's just eaten half that leaf. Phew. We keep changing our mind on where we're going to have some kind of an arbour or an outside space. That's really where I want to plant this one. These are just assorted things for fall or winter. Of course, they've been munched by something. They don't get munched so much when they're in their little DIY greenhouse, but as soon as they bring them out to harden them off, they get munched, so it's not too bad. They'll come back in just little bits and pieces packed away and that sort of thing. Here's my frangipani that I grew from a cutting. It's white with yellow in the centre. I'd previously grown 3 from cuttings and I had to leave those in Queensland, of course, but they're quite easy to grow from seed or from cuttings. These frangipanis are pink ones with yellow in the centre, grown from seed. Here's some ginger growing from rhizomes from the supermarket. The first 2 big pots here are mint. Sometimes we call it English mint, but you know, English people would just call it mint, I guess. And this one over here is lemon balm, and these are all in here because they spread a lot and hopefully they won't seed a lot. This is what I'm calling my not lemon drop tomato. It's supposed to be a lemon drop or a pear shape, but it's round. I bought it as a plant because my hubby loves lemon drops. I've told you this 100 times if you watch my channel, but I'm like, it's not droppy, it's round. Anyway, it still tastes good. These are my spring onions, scallions, green onions, I think people also call them, and shallots are the other names. So basically any kind of Asian cooking you would use something like this. These ones here, probably up to about here, are ones that I've replanted from the supermarket ones, so you only need about that much of the white and the roots below and they will replant really well. You can see this one is coming back, and the ones up that end are ones that I've grown from seed. This is a black creme tomato, as is that. They don't seem to have had enough care. Looking pretty sad, they probably need some more manure. These are my Clemson spineless okra, green ones. I'll be planting a whole lot more when I plant that this year. These are long green cucumbers. Apparently they don't go bitter so much. They were planted late because the others got eaten. Thai chilies, which I actually purchased as plants because the season was running on without me. Look at this tiny little one. That's as big as it's going to get because it's changing colour, but that's very cute. This is my clementine. It was a gift. It's put on a whole lot of new foliage since I've had it here under the net. Well, since I've had it, full stop. So that will be espaliered over there if there's enough sunlight, or quite possibly along the back fence because there's a lot more sunlight there. So I'll have to harden that off properly because these are quite tender, these green leaves here. Ruby Sensation Peach. also a gift. I really like that growth habit because it's quite flat, so that will be a spay lid as well. Over here we have slippery silk beans. They have beautiful red pods and beautiful red beans. They're like a small kidney bean. You only need to cook them for about 20 minutes from a dried bean, and you don't need to soak them, which is my kind of bean. There's a spaghetti squash that's struggling a little over there. Perhaps that needs a bit of extra attention as well. Up here I have my herb bed. I've let these coriander or cilantro go to seed, so that'll be good to have fresh seed for next season. Here in Melbourne, Australia, we really do have two defined seasons as per planting. The weather can be here, there and everywhere, but as for especially coriander or cilantro, as you would probably know, it bolts really quickly. I thought I had a slow bolt version, but I do have Mexican coriander, so that's just getting going. That doesn't bolt very much. Here is just a normal rosemary that I purchased as a plant because it was taking a while to get some up from seed. I have grown them from seed in the tropics before. These are cuttings from the supermarket basil that have turned into plants, Genovese basil or sweet basil. This is lemon verbena, great for tea. I've just harvested that recently. Dwarf nasturtium, same here. Good for colour and attracting bees, any other kind of pollinator. And over there in the distance, I might show you that a bit more close up around the corner. Not without getting a strawberry snack first. I always feel like I'm a bit mean if I do that on camera, but these are so good. Look at them. My goodness. They certainly are a summer fruit. So good. And this is a summertime plant. I could say this is summertime and I would still be correct. It's a bit more upright than normal time and the leaves are quite small, but it's really hardy, which is great. I did have a winter time over there, but yeah, I've left it there in case it comes back from the roots, but not sure what happened to that. I think it got a bit frosted, so I'll leave that and I'll see if it comes back in spring. Here are some more plants that are waiting to get planted out. We have our feijoa or pineapple guava, English gooseberry, although if you're English you'll be able to let me know, they're probably just called gooseberries. They're the tart kind, not the kiwi kind. This is a persimmon that I grew from seed. There's a pomegranate that I grew from seed. There's a Confederate rose or rose of Sharon that I grew from a cutting from a friend. That's my other native frangipani that I've grown from seed. This is a Persian fig that I grew from seed. They're calling them baby figs in the shops now, not Persian figs, so I don't know if that's political or not. Hopefully not. Here's a white fig, a Genoa fig. This is my beautiful port wine magnolia. Oh, it's going to give us some more flowers. They're beautiful. They have a real grape scent, which smells like a soft drink or a soda that we have here in Australia. Here we have assorted strawberries given to me by some friends, and up the top we have the sweetest, allegedly the sweetest variety of strawberries. They dry out too much in summer and they get too soggy in winter, so in winter I take this little saucer off. This is especially important if they're dormant, but even if they're not dormant, you really need to take a saucer off the bottom of strawberries in winter. This is my little DIY greenhouse. I've put some shade up here for summer. I'm thinking of putting a couple of panels of plastic cardboardy stuff. We call it cool flute here in Australia. I guess that's a brand name because it just gets too hot here. But the humid, warmer area here is really good for starting seeds even in summer. Just got to make sure they don't dry out. And the white grip mat made a big difference to the heat on the shelves. DIY greenhouse, just a couple of shelves with some builder's film around it. Up here in my formerly messy corner, we have a couple of bromeliads. This one's doing a lot better. This one, I don't know, it keeps getting knocked over. I'll have to add some soil, I think. And I seem to have lost one of the orchids, and this one is doing just fine. I think it's just a basic white orchid. It hasn't flowered yet. Might need to move these if this is going to be one of the spots for the shed. This used to be a thunbergia, and this weedy tree is trying to grow again. Hubby's going to take the roots out on these ones. We have a pineapple striped tomato. The top has been bitten off by a possum. Another pineapple stripe. My Panama passion fruit that I grew from a seed. Hasn't done much this year, but it's still getting used to being where it is. Here we have another pineapple stripe, all in desperate need of being tied up, but I'll try to get to that today actually, because they're going to be moving around a lot in the wind. Amish pastes all along here. Australian native currant. So I've never had that fruit actually, so hopefully one day it'll give me fruit. I'm going to espalier all of the larger things along here as well. These are Amish paste as well. This is a sunshine blue blueberry. It's a southern high bush variety. This is a vining potato. I can't find that on the internet, except for something that's not Australian, and I was told it was Australian, so we'll find out more about that. More Amish paste. This is a Eureka lemon because it doesn't have thorns, so I'm happy about that. I don't like thorny plants. Amish paste, another vining potato plant, another sunshine blue blueberry. This is a Victoria rhubarb. That one is a Wandon red, which is cool because I used to have ties to Wandon in the Yarra Valley. This is a pineapple tomato. It's lost its tag, but I'm pretty sure it's a pineapple. This is a Tahitian lime, which had a lot of flowers, but like all my other citrus have dropped flowers or fruit. Ooh, except for this. I forgot to point out the Eureka lemon does have a lemon. Probably shouldn't have let it keep it that small, but I did. We have assorted little beans that aren't doing that well. That's a black-eyed bean, also known as a black-eyed pea, but it's actually a bean. Another one of the same blueberries, so that's a sunshine blue. Doesn't need as many chill hours as a lot of blueberries. Cocktail Trust tomato. All the tomatoes along this fence line are not doing all that well because there's not enough sun. It was a gamble. I did wonder if it was too shady, and I think it is. This is my Tangelo, which is a mandarin crossed with a grapefruit. It had a lot of fruit coming on, but like my other citrus, it dropped all the fruit with the super hot days. These are Gippy Gold or Gippsland Gold potatoes, just ones I bought in the shop, and they have been quite vigorous in growing, which is great. Another sad little butter bean, another Cocktail Trust tomato, Cocktail Trust. This is my Stella cherry, which we had beautiful cherries from this year. It's a sweet cherry. So I found this old water tank in the bush when we lived in the tropics, and I've often had cucamelons trailing out the top, so I think I'll do that again. But in the meantime, I'm going to switch out the sunchokes, which are in there now, and in the other pots, the Jerusalem artichokes, because we don't really like them. And I think I'll put the horseradish here at the base, those three plants in the main tank. It's my little worm farm. It's my first year just ticked over of keeping worms. I'd never done it before. If you live in Australia, your local council might have an agreement with the Compost Revolution, and you can get really big discounts on anything to do with worms or vermiculture and composting. So it's really worth looking up your local council, and you can get quite a big discount from them if you buy them through your local council. Wetting this towel on top of the worm farm keeps them cool. Here are my potato onions. They grow multiple onions under the ground, and they are really cool. They also go to seed for you, so you can have some seed for next time. So I'm really excited. I've never grown these before. I keep missing the stock when it's in stock. They're not a huge thing in Australia as far as I know, but now I'm getting into it. People are going, oh yeah, potato onions. So yeah, I just mustn't have got the memo. These are cayenne chili peppers because mine didn't sprout. Had all sorts of trouble with cold nights here in spring. And back into August is when I usually start my chilies or hot peppers and tomatoes inside on heat mats, but I didn't get enough light, and yeah, hoping I've learned a lot from this year, this first year back in Victoria from the tropics. These are snack peppers that I grew from seed in the supermarket fruit. Just a little borage. A butternut pumpkin that's doing quite well. We've got quite a few of these little fruit. This one's even bigger. So that'll be lovely. Another one over there. I think we've got 5 or 6. This is a Lebanese cucumber. It was planted late because I had a lot of trouble with seed, as I said. Allegedly it doesn't get too bitter, so we shall see. We've got perpetual spinach trying to grow in under there. We've got beetroot or beets. I think they were Perfect 3 from DTB Seeds. This is, I think it was Eden Seeds. It's a Lebanese zucchini, so they are a pale green. Once they start getting going, I've had the net on so much for hot weather, I've had trouble getting them pollinated. But this is the colour they are. So hopefully that one's a goer. More beets hiding in here. I have a very late watermelon because a lot of them got eaten or didn't come up because of the cold nights. That's a sugar baby, so it's really late in the season. I'm not expecting much from that little baby. As you can see, the butternut pumpkin is rambling along here. Much better than having it in the walkways. I have done that before and that's kind of annoying. More Siam Queen Thai basil. And yeah, back to some more beets or beetroot. Oh, this one I actually transplanted. Do not recommend, but it was about that big at the time and it seems to have recovered, so that's good. We have Thai pink egg tomatoes here. Spaghetti squash, anise hyssop here, some sugarloaf cabbages that are regrowing, so I'll leave them and see what they do. Sad little tomato, pineapple heritage that I transplanted. That's why there's an extra net on here for a bit more shade for the poor little thing. Habanero chili, because my other ones didn't sprout. So I purchased that plant. I actually had 2 of them. But I was a little bit too fierce when I was taking off the extra leaves and yeah, might have stripped the stem of the other one and it died. So that happens at my place. Savoy cabbage, last one left. Nearly ready. More Thai pink egg tomatoes and another poor little pineapple tomato that I had to move because it was in the way of a new project. Some extra shade on there, so hopefully it will come good. Here's my asparagus. It's all green asparagus. Martha Washington or Thai pink egg tomatoes. This is netted all the time for cabbage butterfly, so it really reduces your risk of caterpillars getting a hold. I have seen grasshoppers get in here, so I might even cover it with a full insect net. That might be the best solution. Brussels sprouts from last year that were a bit stunted, so I'm at a head start for this year, and I have some more that are up already. These are my 2 raspberries. This is a tourmaline and that's a chilcotin. That's in there by itself. I'm going to put a star pick at either side and put plastic coated wire lines along here. Just waiting for hubby to do that. He likes to make sure they're straight and not crazy looking like I put them in, so I'll just wait for that to happen. And this is my honeydew that I grew from seed, just from some seed in the shops, and we'll see what kind of melon that turns out. Got a trellis up here for this one as well. That's a honeydew, and there are 5 different kinds of sweet potato in here. I just cut off the leaves when they get too big because what you want is roots, not leaves. Don't want it to concentrate on making a lot of leaves. So I've got purple, white and orange in there for the sweet potato. Here's a pineapple ground cherry, a Siam Queen Thai basil. They do grow quite big in the tropics, so I'm curious to see how big they grow here. It's been a while since I've grown one in Victoria. This is incredible F1 hybrid corn. Heritage plants become heritage after they're a hybrid because they're new, so they have to be a hybrid. So don't be too afraid of hybrids. These ones are just about to tassel or tassellate. I'll try not to show you too much of my neighbour's house. The tomatoes in here are black crim. I weirdly thought they were bush, but they're not. They're indeterminate, they're vining. I had them in the tropics and they didn't get that big, so there must have been other things at play there. These tassels will soon have pollen on them, and hopefully will pollinate the silks of the corn cobs that are coming out here on the sides. So that will be fun. This is a thornless Chester blackberry. I'm going to let it ramble sideways so it's sort of espaliered, and I'll put some more supports up for that soon. This is a tayberry, which is a raspberry crossed with a blackberry. And I'll put this cover back on now that I've shown you my plants. It's getting quite warm out here. These tomatoes here, forgot to mention them. They're a Cherokee purple and mostly, the others are broad ripple yellow currant tomatoes. And just a baby borage there that I dug up from all the ones that keep volunteering in the garden beds. I figure I can move my borage around to where I want my bees to go. Well, it's after midday, so it's getting quite warm. I'll get the last of these nets back on. But thank you for watching. Hope you're having fun in your garden. We'll see you next time.